was there a specific moment in Paris that you will, obviously being in the Olympics, you're gonna always remember every detail, but is there something that you'll take away that was just super special?
There were so many special things, but I remember one thing. I was normateching, so in like the recovery room, and I was sitting next to Simone Biles, and we were watching rugby, and they were doing so well, and we were just like talking and stuff, having like a normal conversation.
How is that normal? Are you just like...
I was like panicking on the inside, but I was like, just be normal. Like, she's a person, you're a person, you're both
Olympians.
I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm gonna freak out. But no, she was just like a normal person, and like she was just so cool. Like, she was a little diva with her, like she had like so many opinions about like rugby and stuff, and I was just like putting my opinions in, and like we were just talking, and like it was just like such a normal conversation. I was like, this is just so cool.
That
like
is so cool.
You got to dream of doing this when you were little, and now like it's like real. So
that is unbelievable.
It was cool.
Welcome back to The Player's Perspective, a podcast powered by Hoosiers Connect. As the official NIL collective of IU Athletics, Hoosiers Connect provides exclusive access to IU student athletes, offering fans an inside look at their lives both in and out of competition. Tune in weekly to hear stories and perspectives from the incredible athletes that make Hoosier Nation proud.
Thank you for being here.
Yes.
This is so exciting.
Yes, I'm excited.
So I guess just to start from the very beginning, what brought you into the swimming world?
I would have to say I was around 8 years old, and my older sister was doing it. And I was always kind of like, oh, I don't want to get in the cold pool. Like, I'm not about that. I was very involved in like other sports and stuff, like at 8 years old, as any kid might be. So I was like, you know, maybe I'll try it. And I ended up loving it, just like being around with my friends and stuff. So it was super cool. Started around 8 years old.
So your sister is the one that started, like, you looked up to start swimming, and now she's your coach.
Yep.
So talk a little bit about how that came to be and how, I guess, great it is or terrible it is to have your sister around more than you think.
Yes, for sure. So I was so fortunate to be able to have 2 years with her because she did her 5th year here. And that was just like awesome. We just bonded so much, and we swam on the same club team for a couple years, but she was a little bit older. So once she came to college, we had that separation. And then college really took like a turning point in, I guess, our like relationship as like siblings and stuff, which was so awesome. And then she got the coaching position here, which was so cool. I was so happy to like have her stay around.
Yeah.
Cause like when she was graduating, I was gonna be so sad. Like, I was actually just like so depressed like that senior, her like 5th year, because I was like, I don't want her to leave. Like,
I've been around her for so many years.
I've been so used to
and
just
teammates
having her.
with her.
Yep. I was like, I don't know how to like transition into this area, and then I had to figure out how to like transition from like the coach-swimmer relationship and like keeping our sibling relationships separate. So that was a little bit, but we just kind of figured out a balance of like what not to tell each other and stuff, all that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah. So. Was there ever a moment where you were like, wow, I'm really good. Like I can go really far in this sport, that type of thing? Yeah,
I would have to say probably my sophomore year of college. Coming in, I kind
Only
of
as a sophomore?
I mean, yeah, like, well, coming into like college and stuff, like I wanted to do well, but I didn't really have any of like the higher expectations of like becoming an Olympian or becoming an NCAA champion, like those. Like I always wanted to do something like that, but I never really kind of believed in that, I guess.
That is crazy.
So like, yeah, after like my freshman, sophomore year, I really started to like, I guess, be serious about like having those higher expectation goals. But yeah, I would say like in high school, I like quit cheerleading.
No way.
To be like a dancer and a cheerleader.
and a swimmer.
Yeah, and then so I was like, okay, maybe I should like stop doing this and like train year round.
Oh,
because like, I don't know, people were always telling me like, oh, you are so talented, like you could go so far. And I'm like, well, I want to stay being a cheerleader. So just like things like that, but.
I think that you made the right decision.
Me too, honestly. I couldn't have imagined it.
So swimmers have the most insane schedule ever, if people don't know. Like morning workouts, dry land, afternoon workouts, and it's just repeat every single day.
Yeah.
So how did you have time to do dance, cheer, and swimming?
Well, so this was in high school.
Yeah, but still, I feel like that schedule is ridiculous.
It was crazy. So I did like high school season, which was like 4 months or something like that. And then right after that, we transitioned into like the basketball cheerleading time of year.
Oh my gosh.
And I went through like a week of it. I'd done it like all middle school, and I went through like a week of it, and I was like, I just don't feel like I fit in. Like, I don't really know about this. I was like a foot taller.
I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, you're pretty tall to be a cheerleader.
I was like a foot taller, so I was like, okay, I don't know if I could do this. But my older sister, Noelle, she was actually like, well, you could join like my club team with me. It was an hour away, which was like a big dedication. And I was like, oh, that's just like a lot. But ended up deciding to quit cheerleading. Was the best decision ever.
I would say so.
Not that I didn't love it. It was so fun at the time, but I was just ready to take like a little switch in my career, I guess.
Yeah.
So,
oh my gosh. Yeah. So you're training full year round right now. So right now, what is like your day in the life? Like, what is your routine right now?
Yeah. So the season is over technically, the NCAA season, but swimming goes pretty much year round. So just really starting to train for like the summer season, because the summer season is almost just as important. The Olympics were last year, so this is like the first year of the quad. So it's like qualifying for like World Championships, which is out in Singapore, and just getting ready to train for that and stuff. So school is almost done, thank goodness. So yeah, I'll go on like Mondays and Fridays, I'll go swim, lift, internship all day, swim, night class, and then find some time to eat in there. And then, do that on Monday and Friday, and then like sometime in the week, it's just a mix of like all of those 3 things.
Oh my gosh,
3 to 5 things. So
we have to bring up like the elephant in the room. You went to the Olympics, which is like you have your rings on the side of your arm. Like, it's the craziest thing. I've never been able to like sit down and talk to an Olympian before. So this is like amazing to do. But just like talk about the experience. Like, did you have a feeling that you were going to make the Olympic team? How did it all go down?
Yeah, so I'll just like backtrack a little bit. So my junior year, actually no, I'll start with my freshman year. So I had a meeting with my head coach, Ray, and he was like, he sat me down. Yep, he sat me down in a meeting with actually like all 3 of the coaches in the room, and I was like sweating. I was like drenched. And he was like,
those coaches meetings are
it's
stressful.
A lot. It's a lot. I was like, I don't know if I can do this right now. But still to this day, I sweat in those meetings. But, he sat me down and he was like, do you want to make the Olympic team? And I was like, well, yeah, it's everyone's dream to make the Olympic team, but like, I don't really know if I actually think I could do that. And he was like, swimming here, if you're disciplined enough and if you have the mental attitude, you're going to make the Olympic team. And so that was like freshman year. That was like 3 or 4 years ago. And then time goes by, I start developing a lot more in the sport and like making it further in NCAA finals and stuff. My junior year was a crazy year because that was the Olympic year. And Big Tens came around. It was like a fairy tale ending to that meet, but like in the beginning it was a disaster because like I DQ'd a relay and we were like on score to win or like on projection to win. And like I was just like so mental about it. I was like, I'm just like so done. We ended up winning that meet by like half a point. Fairy tale ending. And then NCAAs came around. Like that whole year was just like crazy. NCAAs came around. I got out-touched for an NCAA title by like 0.03. So that was just like pretty dampering. I mean, still getting second is amazing. Like,
but you're there to win.
Yeah. So
like,
I was just like, oh, like,
especially getting a touchdown on
that.
Yeah.
Like, and I was like, oh no, like
you're
I
an
can't
athlete,
be
you're
mad,
a competitor.
But like, everyone wants to win, especially like when you're that close and stuff. So I just had to do a little bit of reflection, and 3 months later was Olympic trials. So I was like, okay, I just have to really like dial in, kind of let the NCAA season behind me. It's time to focus on long course because the summertime is long course. And then that meet was just like insane. Like there was like 25,000 people there on like every single night. You went?
Oh my gosh, I had to
go.
It
was so fun.
Unbelievable. It was also so cool to have it in Indy.
Yes.
It was like it was so cool.
Yeah.
I was like it was one of the best like events that Indy has ever hosted. They did an amazing job.
Yeah.
It was so cool.
It was so fun, but like being on the swimmer side of it just like kind of felt like a lot of pressure. So I was like, as the meet went on and stuff, the 2 free is like my baby event. That's what I made it in. And so it's prelims, semis, and finals. And so I had a great prelim swim, great semi swim. I was going in like 7th, and to make the Olympics, you have to be top 6 for that event. And so I was like, okay, I just have to like send this race. And like Ray and Corey and my other coaches, they circled around me before that final. And they like told me something that like completely like switched my brain. They were like, so Corey's wife went to the Olympics when she was 15, won a gold medal. And they told her before she went to that meet, they were like, we don't have another plan for you. other than to make the Olympics. Like, you're going to take the train home. And so they kind of told me like a similar story. They were like, we don't have another plan for you for the rest of the summer. And I was like, well, I don't know what to do. I was like, I don't really have a plan for myself either, other than like
making
really
the Olympics.
wanting to make this team. And so I was like stressed. I was like sweating. I wanted to cry. I was like, I don't know if I can do this. And so they told me something similar. They were like, we have no other plan for you. Like, you have to take this race out like faster than the entire field, if not like in the top 3 to like be able to finish. So I was like, okay, like I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna swim it how I normally do it, but just take it out a little bit faster. So I did, and it was just like so rewarding. My whole team was just like crowded in on me, like pulled me out of the warm down pool. Just like tears of joy. Like the whole like previous year that had gone on was just like so stressful and stuff, but it all ended up working out, and getting able to experience being on Team USA and go to Croatia for the training trip and be in Paris in the village was just like a dream come true.
Was there a specific moment in Paris that you will, obviously being in the Olympics, you're gonna always remember every detail, but is there something that you'll take away that was just super special?
There were so many special things, but I remember one thing. I was normateching, so in like the recovery room, and I was sitting next to Simone Biles, and we were watching rugby, and they were doing so well, and we were just like talking and stuff, having like a normal conversation.
How is that normal? Are you just like...
I was like panicking on the inside, but I was like, just be normal. Like, she's a person, you're a person, you're both
Olympians.
I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm gonna freak out. But no, she was just like a normal person, and like she was just so cool. Like, she was a little diva with her, like she had like so many opinions about like rugby and stuff, and I was just like putting my opinions in, and like we were just talking, and like it was just like such a normal conversation. I was like, this is just so cool.
That is so cool.
You got to dream of doing this when you were little, and now like it's like real. So
that is unbelievable.
It was cool.
So your tattoo, when did you get it? How did you decide where to put it?
So I was actually talking with Kate Douglas. She is like a legend. She swam at UVA. She's like a 2-time Olympian now, 3 times. She's awesome. She's amazing. She had her tattoo right here too. Yeah. And I wanted it to be visible, like, of course, on my arm, but not like too visible, I guess. Not like I could cover it up if I need to. So I got it like right after the Olympics. I was like, I really want to do this. Like, I don't have any other tattoos, and I was like, if I were to ever get one, like,
it has to be the rings.
So I was like, okay, like, you're doing it, and I wouldn't have gotten it anywhere else, honestly.
It's awesome.
I was thinking about getting color a little bit, but the yellow kind of
starts to dull out a little bit.
Yeah, a little dull out. So I just went with black, and that's great.
Amazing.
I love it.
That is so cool. So you've been on multiple national teams representing Team USA, whether it's the Olympics or all of the other events that go on. Has there been a special place, or what is your favorite place you visited? And then what's your favorite pool you've swam in?
Yeah, so I would definitely have to say Croatia was my favorite place.
Why is that?
It was... that was before the Olympics. That was like the training camp we had, and we swam outside for pretty much every single practice. And like the people there were just so... like, they just kind of left us, like, be, I guess. Whereas, like, in some of the other places, like, a lot of people would kind of crowd around us and, like, notice that we were, like, from the United States, and they wanted to, like, take pictures and stuff. Whereas, like, the people in Croatia was a very, like, family-friendly area.
Like, respectful for your time,
yes,
too.
very. It was awesome. And we were able to, like, rent out the pool during certain times, so, like, no one was able really to, like, mess with us and stuff, which was... the privacy was really nice. And, like, the views and stuff. We went boating on one day. Went, like, cliff jumping and stuff. So that was probably my favorite place. Europe is just so pretty in general. There's just so many places to go and things to see and stuff. So yeah, I would definitely say that is my favorite place. Favorite pool? Oh geez, I'm honestly gonna have to go with the IU Natatorium up in Indy. That pool is just like so historic in so many ways, and I've accomplished some of the best things there that I have. So honestly, Indy itself is just amazing.
No big deal, but I did swim there growing up.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's so awesome.
I feel like my sister was a swimmer in college, so I grew up going to the natatorium way too many times.
Oh yeah, I bet.
So many times. And then once I stopped swimming, they would always catch me and another sister of a swimmer. We were in the gym half the time playing basketball.
Oh yeah.
And while all of our sisters would swim, we're like, yeah, we're gonna go to the gym and play basketball. We were like, that's a lot more fun.
I love that.
But yeah. So you talked about how hard the year of the Olympics was mentally before going to the Olympics, like the being touched out, getting DQ'd, all that stuff. swimming's one of the, if not the most mental sport there is. How do you handle like the mental side of things? Like do you have someone you go to? Do you handle it yourself? How does that work for you?
It's definitely really hard, and it's definitely been a skill that's been acquired over time. It's still not perfect to this day. I still struggle with like a lot of things, like when a DQ happens or getting out touched happens, like things like that in sports are just naturally bound to happen, and upsets are bound to happen, as you know, like it always happens in sports. So it's just kind of like learning how to like rebound from that, and like learning not to have it damper your whole competition. And like the night after I like DQ'd that relay at Big Tens, like my coaches told me, they were like, okay, you can let this affect the rest of your meet, or you can move on from it, let it like happen right now, let it be, and like move on from it, or you can let it ruin your whole meet. And I was like, okay, that's so true. Like I'm gonna wake up tomorrow and pretend like nothing happened. So I did, which was really hard. Like I woke up the next day all anxious. I was like, oh my gosh, I just did this to the team. Like I'm gonna let down. But no, the team was like so great and stuff, and just like relying on like your friends and your teammates and stuff, and like being able to not be scared about like talking about how you feel is like I think what's most important in like any sport, because so many people are so scared to like be like, oh my gosh, I am actually so nervous right now. I don't feel like I can swim, or like I don't feel like I can compete. Like I feel like a lot of athletes are scared to say that. And I think it should be like more normalized. Of course. Just being able to like talk to your coaches and have like a good relationship with them, like Coach Swimmer Connection. And it's so awesome that my sister's here. I'm able to talk with her about like anything that I don't want to talk with the actual coaches about. I say that as if she's not an actual coach.
But it's your sister. It's a whole other perspective.
Yeah, just like being able to be vulnerable when you need to be is most important. So
that's awesome. Why IU?
Oh gosh. So my sister swam here.
Of course.
And during the recruiting process, I was heavily looking at Ohio State. Like I was about to commit there. And then something just like switched in my brain. Like I was looking at a couple other schools and stuff, and something switched in my brain. Not necessarily like following Noelle, but like being able to be on the same team with her, and like already previously knowing about the culture and the coaching staff and what the team like wanted to accomplish. Kind of like I was able to know about that like in the recruiting process with like other schools, but something just like flipped a switch in my brain with Indiana, and I was like, I could accomplish some really cool things here, like if I was able to compete here and like if I'm having the opportunity to. So like when I committed here, like I just never had any other feeling of doubts and stuff of like any other school. It just kind of like really stuck with me. So it's just like, I don't know, it's home. I've been calling it home here for 5 years now. Even in high school, I was calling it home, and I wasn't even here yet. But it's just been so great.
That's awesome. So on the pool deck here at IU, you have a great group of professional swimmers that are there. What have you learned from them, either on the pool deck or in the pool, just being around them and training around them as well? Yeah,
I would definitely say holding yourself accountable and not dampering the mood at all. Like sometimes a lot of negative energy can come in when like training is really hard. Like it's just like that time of year and like people are struggling and stuff. And like I always go to Lily King, so she's been around for so long, and she's just like, she's my role model here, and like the way that she like holds herself, and like if she has a bad practice, she's not gonna go cry about it in the locker room. Like she's just gonna let it be, and just kind of like being able to be, once again, like professional and like be someone that like other people look up to and stuff. Like I've just always looked up to her in that aspect of like holding herself accountable for things and like just being like a professional on the pool deck. Like you can be a professional, but you have to act like it too. So moving into like my professional career, like I just want to be that role model for people, and someone that like can always be able to have people go to, I guess.
Was there anyone that you looked up to besides Lily? Like when you were younger, was there a swimmer that you always looked up to or wanted to be like? Or
definitely Katie Ledecky. I feel like that's so many people's role model, but like it's so special because like growing up, I always watched her swimming like just a huge like variety of events, from like the 200 free all the way up to the 1500, and like she was just so dominant in all of them, and like then being able to be like on an Olympic team with her was just like so special, and like being able to look back like when I was a kid and recognize like how much I looked up to her and like how I'm able to like be on a team with her now, it was just like so awesome. And I still look up to her now, like she's amazing.
So your event's the 200 free. That's your event. How did you get into like, obviously you're really freaking fast at that event. But like, it was when you were growing up, is that like the stroke you wanted to go into, or like, did you like this stroke more? Or was it just kind of like, hey, I'm best at this, I should stick with this?
Yeah, so I did like freestyle and backstroke pretty much majority growing up. COVID hit like my junior year of high school, and like right before then we had like our state meet, I guess it was, for like club swimming, and I won the 500 freestyle, and I like wasn't a 500 freestyle because a lot of people like weren't at that meet because like COVID was like kind of a thing, but they still went through with that meet, so it was just like kind of awkward. But I ended up winning the 500 freestyle, and I was like, okay, like I love freestyle now. Like I'm getting all this like kind of attention, like as a high schooler, like this is so cool. And so that's when I like kind of realized like I should really like take up freestyle more, because I did freestyle and backstroke. I did backstroke a lot in college too. But with freestyle, like you can swim anything from like the 50 all the way up to the mile. So there was just like a lot of opportunities, and I kind of just like landed on the 200. So kind of like more of a sprint race. Actually, it is like pretty much a sprint race. Yeah, but there's like more aerobic in it rather than like the 50 and the 100 free. So just kind of like a middle ground. Yeah, I love it.
Has there been a most memorable race you've ever swam?
Oh, wow. There's been a lot. Definitely NCAAs this year.
Yeah.
I was able to win by like 0.03, which last year I lost by like 0.03 or like 0.04. It was like right around there. So it was just like so special because, well, my competitors are just so awesome. I'm friends with like both the girls that it was actually like pretty much a Big Ten race. The top three were all Big Ten girls, which was so special to have like that representation. But being able to like cap off my NCAA career, like having been chasing something for the last like few years, was like really special.
That's awesome.
Just like tears of joy.
Oh yeah. So what is your next step? You know, I know you're training all year round, like you said, but what's like the next step of being a professional? Yeah,
definitely. So this is the first year of the quad for like the Olympics and stuff. So I'm looking to train until LA, 2028.
Will you train here?
Yes. Okay. So I'll stay with this coaching staff and like this team and stuff. And it's so awesome that we're able to like still train with the team, the college team. If we weren't, then
it's not like there's I mean, obviously you guys are faster than them, but like there's not a huge drop off. Yeah. Because IU swimming and diving is so good.
Oh yeah, there's people every day that will beat me every single day in practice, and I love it. I love having that like that competition in practice, and like whatever happens in practice like stays at the pool. We're all friends outside of the pool, but like I love having the competition in the pool and like being able to race people day in and day out. Like I just think that's so special, and the legacy here and like the culture that I've been a part of like since I was a freshman has just grown so much, and like it's just been like a dream come true being able to like say where it came from versus where it is now, and like having our highest place finish this year out of Indiana history has like been so awesome to be a part of.
That's awesome. What are some of your hobbies outside of swimming?
Well, it's kind of hard to have like
any hobbies. You don't have a lot of time. Let's say you're tapering and you have a little bit more time on the end of your practice. What are you doing?
I definitely journal like all the time. I don't know if that's like considered like a hobby, but like I'm always writing down like everything at the end of every day. I like to look back on like stuff I was doing last year when I was like tapering. For me, it's what worked, what didn't work. Hanging out with friends. I love hanging out with my roommate. She's so awesome. Like I'm almost like
Is she a swimmer?
Out. Yeah, she's on the swim team too. Yep. She's a sophomore, so she still has like 2 more years of college. So like I'll be able to like still be around like the college people and stuff, all that. But yeah, we hang out with each other more than we're in our own rooms, honestly. Like I just love hanging out with her. But I mean, like that's pretty much it. I don't know. I don't really have any like I love getting my nails done.
I was going to ask that next. That was my next question. So your nails. You're a nail girly. I am too. We have like literally the same color nails. Do you ever get, because this is how I get superstitious with nail colors.
Oh yeah.
Like if you do you have like a good meet and then you have like pink nails for that good meet. The next meet you have blue nails and you don't swim as well. Do you go back to the pink?
Oh yeah. So pink is actually like my bad color. Like,
bad color.
Yeah, I just have like a bad history with getting pink. So I decided to get purple chrome. I had never gotten purple chrome. And I was like, I had a feeling. I was like, okay, I'm going to get purple chrome for NCAAs like this year. Yep. And I got it and it was beautiful. I was like, how have I never gotten this before? I was like, this is going to be like really special. And it was, like, we ended up getting 4th place, like, overall as a team. Like, I won my race. Like, it was just, like, it was so awesome. I was like, I'm getting purple every time now. So.
How stressful was the Olympic nails?
Oh my gosh, like.
You had to think it through.
Yes, it was crazy, actually. I actually got my nails done that day. I hated them. I sobbed. I was like,
really?
If I don't like them.
You have to go into the Olympics with good nails. Everyone has these crazy nails.
Yeah,
I'm
like before
I can't imagine.
Before Olympic trials, I like got these nails and they were so short. Like they had these designs, they cut them too short. I was sobbing in my car. I went and got new ones. I paid for them. I didn't even care. And then for the Olympic nails, every nail was something different. So like this one was like blue with stars. This one had the Olympic rings on it. This one was red. They all just had something different on it. It was like, there was a lot of thought that was put into it.
That's awesome.
They were amazing.
That is awesome.
I wanted to frame them after. I was like, is that like
You're probably like, I don't want to take these off yet.
I was like, I never want these off, but.
And then still going into like the Superstition, do you have any like pre-race routines, or when you're behind the block, do you listen to certain music or anything like that?
The morning of like the 200 free, I'll always wear like my special socks, I guess. They just have like IUs all around them.
Yeah.
And they're like up to here. And I'll wear those. Those are kind of like special for me and stuff. Been wearing them since like freshman year of college. Like they're definitely like getting crusty. But I also have this like, do you remember like in like COVID times, those like squids that could like be reversible and one
then
had like
one's
a happy
happy,
face?
yeah.
One had a happy face, one had a sad face. So I keep them in like my hotel rooms, like at a meet and stuff with like my roommates and stuff. Mm-hmm. And we'll always, like if we had a good session, we'll put it at the happy face. If we had a bad session, like we'll put it on the sad face and like let it be for the night. But yeah, that's just like something that's just like always there for meets and stuff. I'll always put it on the happy face like the day of like a big race and stuff. And then, okay, this one's kind of dumb, but I like to crack like all my knuckles before I swim.
That's not weird.
I don't know why.
There's so many superstitions that people have.
I also have another one. So yeah, cracking my knuckles, for some reason I think it's gonna make my hands bigger. It doesn't, but whenever the national anthem goes off, I like have to stare at the middle group of stars. It's so dumb. Like I don't know why.
It's not dumb. There's so many
athletes. Do you have?
If you like watch during the national anthem, I'll like let's say, oh say can.
Oh,
so I do a little tapping to the entire national anthem, and then once we get like to the end of the song, then I start like, I open my eyes after my prayer, and then I start like warming up my ankles, so I'll start like bouncing up and down.
Oh yeah.
Stuff like that. You know, just the stupid things that you have to do every single time because you think it really matters, but it doesn't at the end. But
you're like, if I don't do this, I'm gonna be bad today. Yeah.
Do you listen to music before meets?
Yeah. I mean, like during like once we're in meet mode, like at the actual meet, like we all put our phones away and just like invest in the team and stuff. But before this year, my big song has been Let It Happen from Tame Impala. Yeah. It's like a 8-minute song or like 7-minute song, but like, I don't know, I just like to be able to listen to it and let it happen, I guess. Whatever happens, happens.
Yeah. So you are an NCAA champion. You made the Olympics. So what is like your next big goal?
I want to individual at the Olympics, so I was on a relay.
Yeah, can you talk about how the relay works? Because people, I feel like that don't watch swimming or the Olympic swimming, like don't understand like how you got onto the relay and got your medal, like stuff like that. So can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so at trials, I was 5th place. Yep. So it's kind of like the qualification criteria is the top 4 automatically qualify. And then as the meet goes, 1st and 2nd automatically qualify as well. So 5th and 6th are like the last priority based on like roster sizes. So our roster size was great because a lot of people double in events. Like Katie Ledecky makes it in 3 or 4 events. And then like other people, Lily Kay makes it in 2. So having those like double events limits or like the roster size, it doesn't have as many people. So then 5th place goes, and then 6th place is like last priority. So we ended up having all the 5th and 6th place relay people go. So those girls swim in the morning, and then the top 2 automatically, this is probably so confusing. I'm like confusing myself. So the top 2 automatically swim individually and on the relay. Yep. And then the top 4, so the top 2 swim on the night relay, and then the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th will swim in the morning, and then the top 2 fastest girls in the morning will swim on the night relay with 1st and 2nd place. Yeah. And then the 1st and 2nd place girls will swim it individually. Yep. So I was on the morning relay. I wasn't the fastest one of the fastest ones to go, so I wasn't able to be on the night relay. I was just in the crowd, like, watching them.
But that's okay.
Yeah. It was,
but you're cheering for your medal.
Yes.
Like,
yes. I was, like, screaming in the
still a
crowd.
part of
like,
it.
yeah, and they finished, and I just, like, started sobbing. Like, just so many emotions all the time at that meet.
I would be crying the entire time. If I was at the Olympics, I not even competing, I would be crying. I think I was crying. I remember sitting in my living room when the women's soccer team won. I'm bawling, crying on the couch. I'm like, why am I crying? I was crying at the trials. I'm like, this is so stupid. Why am I crying? Like,
it's so awesome though. Like, I look
so
around and no one
cool.
else is, and I'm like, okay, I feel like an idiot, but like, it's so cool to just be like vulnerable.
So
and, like,
special.
Yeah.
So what's your plans for after swimming?
So
Do you have any?
Oh, geez.
You'll be swimming for a while, I'm guessing.
So I am majoring in sports marketing and management, and I want to just like stay around like the championship mindset and like the culture of like sports and stuff, whether that's with a professional team or a college team. Based on the way that like college sports are going, like I don't know how that will look with like coaching positions like in the future and stuff. Coaching has always been like in the back of my mind. My sister does it, she loves it. Just being able to give like that insight to athletes or younger athletes growing up and stuff, especially in like women's sports, is so awesome. I don't know exactly what I want to do yet, but definitely staying around sports and swimming or a professional team of some sort. Yeah. So
that's awesome. Well, thank you. This has been awesome to get to know you more.
Yes, thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
Fun. Yay.
We're good.
We hope you loved this episode of Players Perspective. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you never miss an episode. Stay connected with Hoosiers Connect on social media for even more exciting content featuring IU student athletes. Until next time, Hoosier Nation.